learn this. And then next to none of the time gets used on the actual thing, and all the time gets eaten up on the uncertainty, waffling in that gray space of, well, now I got to find something to do. You got to pick what you're going to do. You got to call it from the outset, even if it means a little bit more attention or effort up front. Because again, what you think about it is, it's cheaper and easier to do from a distance when you're in a different headspace than when you get on the spot and you're trying to do something with it. Same reason why when we have our project leads plan out their projects, and our project leads are almost without exception the people who are very good about staying on top of their goals. The way we do that, right, is that before they even start the project, every single week they've laid out, here is the minimum target of what we'll be trying to do that week. Now the project might pivot, those plans might change, but we found that the value of doing that in advance is that during development, when they're in the middle of the schedule, it's a lot harder to see the big picture than it is before you're actually doing it. And so if they're ever in an uncertain stage of what next, then they check their Trello card. They check their plan they laid out up front of, here's what I said I was going to do each week. Have I done all those things yet? Nope. Grab one. There it is. And it gives them this clarity to it. And it's the kind of structure we try to use in something like in our GAM Keto Club to help people stay on doing the things that they're trying to do. It's the sort of thing that's missing from so many people's lives when they just say, well, this week I'm finally going to do that thing. And it's going to look the same on their to-do list next week as it looked on their to-do list last week, because they didn't even really figure out yet what that thing is and how they're going to do it. So if you're setting yourself a goal and you intend to actually do it, maybe that shouldn't be taken as a given. If you're setting yourself a goal and you actually want to do it, make sure you're specific about what's the actual next step you're going to take with it. What's the actual thing you're going to be doing when that time arises, and by when. And this is overlaps a bit with SMART goals. Same sort of thing talking about middle school health class books. What was it? Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, timely, something like that. SMART. But all we're really talking about today is that it's clear about what you're going to do, when you're going to have it done by. And maybe the other bit, obviously, you got to get it outside of yourself. I mean, the people who at least are saying something they're getting part of the equation right, but you can't just have it in your head. If it's up in your head, it's going to change on you. It's going to constantly shift. You'll deny it. It's not going to have priority. Make it outside yourself. Ideally, I find physical helps. I find a whiteboard helps. I find a piece of paper helps. It's not quite as useful in digital format where it's easier to hide from, unless it's something you're sure, like your daily, maybe a Google Calendar, maybe a daily Trello board you check, unless something you really look at daily. It doesn't work anymore to email ourselves. It tends to get lost in the shuffle. But I recommend make sure it's outside yourself, clear what you're going to do, and when you're going to have it done by.